Local food is a big deal, and people are beginning to appreciate it more and more and more. It exploded when the pandemic hit because there was no food available, and we're very fortunate to live in the valley we do, that a lot of the people that have second homes came to our valley during the pandemic to stay here and ride it out instead of being in the cities, and they heard it was just word of mouth. We didn't advertise, but all of the people that were already purchasing from us just said, hey, Craze is great. And it was wonderful because our vendors didn't have a way to sell their products at farmers markets. Everything was shut down. All the restaurants were shut down. And so not only did we help the farmers who didn't get to go to the farmers markets, but our restaurants that we had already been selling for had no way to sell their food.
What do you need in your daily life? What is something that you are looking for that you're unable to find here accessibly, and how can we help make your lives easier is pretty much the goal of what we do.
It just made it so much more community oriented, which is my thing for what we do. I only want it to be a community. I mean, that's what everybody asks. It's like, it's community. That's what's most important to me.
Come on home, Murphy. You. Come on home, Murphy. Let's go. Murph. Let's go, Murph. That a boy. My name certainly is Larry Cray, and where we are is in the middle of my dream, or the middle of my painting. It started 50 years ago when I bought the property and there was nothing on it. I had 35 horses here at one point, 3 stallions and mares and babies, and had the whole fun of having an Arabian horse herd. It was my family from the time I was 30 till the time I'm 75 now. I didn't want my dream to outlive me. My last Arab is that gray or white horse over there. He's 33 years old, very, very old for a horse, and he's very healthy and very happy, but I can't imagine when his journey is going to end. But so I let that dream kind of go away. As I say, I had 35 Arabians, and now I have 1.
I'm Sherry Cray, and we are at Cray's Market Garden south of Bellevue, Idaho, on our farm, which is about 17 acres. It originated as a horse farm, but when I moved down here, we decided to start growing vegetables, and we were doing it for ourselves to begin with, and then we had way too many, and so we started selling them online, and that's where this took us.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi, AC. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah, no problem. We are more than happy to do that delivery for you. We just charge $5 a box, whatever it is. So,
Okay, thank
yeah.
you so much. That is so worth it for me to not have to go all the way up there.
Yeah. And are you going to drop it here, or do you want to meet Alicia tomorrow? We gradually built the business that we were selling all of our vegetables, but we started selling for other vendors as well. It was a gradual process. I'm just checking to see how many daikon radishes people ordered, because I have 7 orders for them, but only 5 people ordered them. So this one person got 3 packages of daikon, so I just make 1 label for that. So we just have 1 bag of produce for that. But now we are at about 70 vendors that we sell for, and we have probably 2,000 customers in our customer base, but we're a very funny valley in that people come and go all year round, and so we're usually at about 150 orders a week that we deliver. But we had no idea it was going to start or end like this. We started with a little email out to people of what we had going, and then a website was created, and then our online store where people could just get on Saturday mornings and order what they want from any of our vendors, and then we do home deliveries, and it's an every week process. Thank you.
Yeah, we're here at Lookout Farm in Bellevue, Idaho, just a little bit north of Craze. We grow a lot of vegetables for our CSA subscription program and the farmers markets and restaurants in the valley. This is our 4th year growing vegetables for this community, and we're doing our best in this high mountain climate. And one of the reasons Craze is great is because it's a spread out place, and the local food movement is relatively young, and Craze helps a lot to get food to people all over the hills here and the valleys here, and that's really important. They do a good thing, and you know, without them we'd be needing to do more work to get food to more people. So, you know, Craze is great.
The Craze Market and Garden is an online store, and on Friday all of our vendors have to tell us what they have available.
When everything's said and done,
And someone might have 50 pounds of carrots, someone else might have potatoes, we have milk, we have cheese, and they tell us what they have available. We have people who bake goods. They say, well, I can bake 15 loaves of bread. And we say, okay. So Sherry takes that information of what's available to us and puts it on the shelves of this online store. That on Saturday morning, they go, oh wow, 15 loaves of bread or 20 pounds of carrots. And they take from the store, from those shelves, what they want to put in their basket, just like I think what happens on a lot of online stores. And they put it in their basket and they check out. At the end of the day, Sherry finds out what's sold to those customers. And then she called the vendors who had 15 loaves of bread and said, you sold 8. Don't bake 15, only bake 8. That's what's sold. And so the beauty of that in business or in life is that you don't have to prepare more than what's already sold. Like when you go to a farmer's market, you have to take your whole bundle of stuff and hope that it sells.
I'm going to Hank and Sylvie's and Atkinson's in Haley, which is a big market. I'm going to go to Hanger Bread. I'm going to go to the bank, and then I'm going to drive the rest of the way up to Ketchum, which is 11 or 12 more miles.
literally kill you, and nobody will blame you for giving up the fight. There's only
In this program, the product that you bring to me is already sold. So there's no holding inventory or trying to keep goods over a long period of time. It comes in the store on Tuesday, it's out of the store on Wednesday and Thursday. And that's part of the beauty of the business. The romance, or what Sherry is in love with, is how it connects that farmer who could never sell his 20 pounds of carrots into our marketplace with only that product or the few products that he has, and he would have to drive, and his neighbor would have to drive, and everyone. So Craze Market and Garden, at the end of the day, is a conduit for the locally produced material and further into our community. And Gray's Market and Garden becomes a very nice business because of it.
This is my baby. This is my pride and joy pretty much because I've been part of the process. I mean, all of these plants are seeds that I've planted. So it's fun to be able to watch them. Even at the very end, I planted eggplants for the spring, and those were the first plants I planted when I got here. My week technically starts on Sunday. We get all of our orders start Saturday, so I'm able to look at our reports and see what is going to be needed to harvest. So then on Sunday I spend most of the day harvesting what people have ordered and then going and getting everything cleaned up to be washed on Monday. Favorite part's harvesting because I planted those seeds and I get to see exactly what comes out of that greenhouse, which is very rewarding. I love that part. I don't really like the in-between part because it's a little bit much, but going from seed to pulling it and packing it and selling it, it's like that's really rewarding to be part of every single part of that process.
And I like to know my customers and my vendors, and that is so important to me that they can say, hey, can you find this for me? Or hey, I wasn't happy with the arugula we got this week, and we take care of them.
I know when I take a bite of a Craze piece of produce, I know the energy from that produce is going to go into my body and make me a better person who is able to engage in your community in a healthy way.
I go to the grocery store every once in a while, like less than once a week. And while there's things about it that I miss, the quality of what you get at Craze is just so much better than the grocery store. It's fresher, it's tastier, there's more options there. And a lot of the local options you can't get at the grocery stores here.
I think that they appreciate having the service, first of all, of home delivery. That's a big deal in a lot of people's lives. And to not have to go to the farmers markets to pick up local food, but just the vast array of products that we have. I think you can pretty much get everything you would need from us, and it's a home delivery.
I mean, you go from buying something at a grocery store and it lasts a week in your fridge to getting it here, and our spinach will last almost a month in your fridge because it hasn't sat in a truck and had its life taken away before it actually even gets to you. So the part of the local food and what it can bring to the community and the community it can build for everybody.
I've been working in the local food community here in the Wood River Valley for over 8 years. And for me, there's 3 ways to look at it. It's the economy. In a lot of agricultural communities, the dollars are exported out as the food is exported out, and the people that live in the communities actually don't have access to food. So that's one of the reasons. I think there's a community reason too, like the people are really connected to each other. When you grow food, when you cook food, when you share food, that builds bonds with people. And I think in our society and in our globe, we need connections to people. We need real connections to our humanity and where our food comes from. And we can do that by getting to know our farmers and getting to know the food that we eat. And I also think about it environmentally. The footprint of food is vast. It's exported and imported from all around the globe using a lot of fossil fuels, a lot of chemicals. Monoculture destroys biodiversity, and I like, as you can kind of see in my yard, I like a lot of diversity. So it's important to me to buy from farmers that have those same values as me, and you can find that more easily locally because you can have those conversations with them.
ends up being a saleable item. Having a farm, whether you have pigs and goats or whether you have carrots and whatever you have, having a farm, with the way our society is racing to wherever it's going, the quietness, the peacefulness of a farm is something people long for.
Pulling your first carrot can be so little to somebody who, I've been doing it every day for years now, but to a kid it's like they might remember that for the rest of their lives.
Different than where Larry grew up in the city, I grew up on farmland, and so this is normal for me. This is like, yeah, this is the way it's supposed to be. And for him, it's a blessing every day to not be in a city. And it's like, this is how I grew up. And not that I am not more grateful or less grateful. It's like, this is what it should be, you know?
I always felt like I was replaceable. It was always like, there's always somebody else that's in line for your job. It doesn't matter, like, yes, you can be so good at doing whatever you're doing, but there's always someone behind you that can do just as good of a job, if not better, who will kind of step up to the plate after you've left a job, been fired or anything like that. But here I feel vital. And to like have that feeling as somebody who pretty much did 10 years of not really feeling that way, it's eye-opening. Like, it's like you just kind of want to be part of something like that. It just makes you feel good. Like, instead of always feeling like you're replaceable.
And that's what I dig for in this business. You could be uptight and worried about tomorrow like in any business that you would be in. But to me, that rhythm, that of the farm, that rhythm of a weekly plan that unfolds every week the same way, that has given me a peace that I didn't have before, a quietness in my life and in my head.
And you asked me the other day what makes me the happiest, and I told you then it was my customers, and they are great. But in the big picture, it's sharing our place with people that makes me the happiest. And that's not something that we do as a garden and with Cray's Market Garden, but it is part of Cray's Market Garden. Our guests come and stay here, and they love it. It's just a beautiful place. And that's my favorite part. So, yeah.
The reward we get is not $1 in the bank. The reward we get is the appreciation from the people. And that delivery day when we're loading, we go out, it's the culmination of a week's life. You get to wrap it up and deliver it and say, boom, I'm done.
I think the fact that we are able to bring local food to your front door is changing the way people shop. You know, it goes back to the food being wonderful and our vendors doing everything they can to make sure that everybody's happy with what they receive or anything like that.
Where does your food come from? It doesn't come from a grocery store. There's a lot of work that goes into it before that, and to have the kids and I am so thankful we live in a valley that there are a lot of kids that will come in and say, hey, isn't that kale? Are those cucumbers? You know, and it's like, oh, you know, and I'll ask, and the first kids that answer, it's like, I am so glad you know that, because so many kids do not even know what a kale plant looks like.
To me, a legacy is your life, and it's not something you choose. And you wish you could, probably, but it is what you gave the world and what you took from the world in your 75 years here. And that's the only legacy that really matters. And no one can ever trace it back, but it is what's important. It is, to me, what I left and how I did it. Yeah, that becomes your legacy, I believe.
I want it to be a nice place for people. I want to do good things for people. And the community, you know, the vendors, the customers, the guests, you know, it should be a lovely, lovely place that we live on.